Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner and welcome to Selling Power's Daily Report. Today we continue our conversation with Sam Rees. He's the CEO of Miller Heiman. Welcome, Sam.
Good to see you, Gerhard.
Could you explain the gap that exists between C-level executives and frontline salespeople?
Absolutely. I'll explain a few of the key gaps because there are so many of them, and it was really incredible to see in our latest research report how misaligned executives are with the front lines. But a few of them really jumped out. First of all, the C-level believes that the training they're bringing to the salespeople is exactly what they want, and about 3 times more likely to believe that than the salespeople themselves, who seem to be probably the best people to actually ask that question. The other one that really jumped out at me that I got a kick out of is that C-levels believe they are actively engaged in the sales process, almost 80% more than the salespeople themselves. And the reason they do that is that C-levels think that a phone call or maybe a terse email to say, please get that business, is involved in the sales process. When salespeople are saying, no, helping me win business and helping me manage customers is what I'm really looking for. And then I would say if I had to pick out a third one that was really important, is that the C-level, and maybe this is just because they're putting their head in the sand because they'll have to fix this problem, is the C-level believes to a wide degree, much more than the front lines, that sales and marketing are aligned and all pursuing the right objectives. Whereas the front line is saying there is big disconnect between sales and marketing.
That is really interesting. I have one more question to this. What is the perception of C-level executives in terms of their understanding of what the customer wants versus the salesperson understanding what the customer wants?
Great question, and a very specific question in the survey. Is the C-level believes they have a great understanding versus the sales reps who say they have no understanding. It was about 3 times more from the C-level perspective on their belief.
Reality says what?
Reality says when we talk to customers and we talk to salespeople is they don't have knowledge, the C-level, of what is really going on out there in the customer's world. And oftentimes it's because they don't have the feedback mechanisms to get there, right? So in their mind, what's going on in the customer's world often is what they think should be going on in the customer's world because it fits with all of the objectives and initiatives they have working inside their 4 walls.
Sam, how do you explain that misalignment between sales and marketing?
It's amazing. I mean, what you would find interesting is the winning sales organizations have much less friction. It's a big dichotomy there. But the other organizations, there's a bunch of problems that emerge, and I think it starts first with really having the leadership that understands how to direct sales and marketing. And leadership meaning that it has to begin with a clear growth plan. So rather than our business is going to be $2 billion this year, we have to break that up in buckets to say, this is how much new business we need to win. This is what we expect to do with our existing clients and the more products and services we want to sell to them and service them with. And here is what we would expect our churn rate to be, the business that we'll lose. Those buckets have to be defined and have to be really tight. Imagine without those being defined, how would the marketing head know what to do to support sales? Sales is out there saying it's all about new business, and marketing is doing loyalty and retention programs. Big disconnect. So it's got to start with a growth plan, and from there it has to funnel to KPIs or key performance indicators that connect them rather than put them in competition.
Out of curiosity, in your experience, how many percentage-wise, how many leads are generated by marketing that are in the sales funnel versus generated by salespeople?
Great question. So different than 20 years ago. 20 years ago, a salesperson that said, I need somebody to give me a lead was thought of as somebody that really was looking for a shortcut. It's flipped today, and I would say 70% in my experience come from marketing, 30% from the sales organization. Now, and almost all those 30% are really coming from referrals because they've done good work and have good connections. But there's a science to that makes sense. But when marketing does this kind of work and pre-qualifies them and gets the client predisposed to work with the sales organization, it certainly creates a better interaction on that first meeting.
So what you're saying is that you need an enlightened leader who has the vision, the overarching vision, and then also rallies everybody around the mission, which is to help the customer win, and then agree on a process.
That's a great assessment of it, and when you don't have that enlightened leader, as you just called it, then any change initiative will fail. And this is a change initiative. When you're going to do something different, it will fail because that enlightened leader has to rally the troops, they have to navigate through the rough waters, and they have to be the one that is really steadfast in the course that they're pursuing.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Gerhard.